Welcome back. We are on episode 14. Now over to my gran.
Good day, everybody. We're back on track uh, on our journey at the coast. You know, time moves on, and the younger generation moved on to the high school in Scottsboro. So we had the 4 children there. Now, the eldest girl, she was time to matriculate. And when they do, they always have a matric dance. Well, at this stage, she was still involved with our drummer, and she said she wasn't allowed to take him to the dance, so she wasn't going to take anybody. So guess what happened? Her brother had to take her. So he had to get himself all dressed up, and off he went to the matric dance. So at least had that one over. But you know, we were still on the coast, we were still at the Cuddy-Sark Hotel. On every Friday, it was Saturday nights then, on Saturday nights. So we always had to get ready and go over. And she actually, all her classmates, because she played in the band, all her classmates used to arrive at the Cuddy-Sark, and it was like a real for her. All her mates were there, so it was a time of celebrating and rejoicing. And anyway, every Saturday night when we used to go over, my eldest son, I think I had mentioned it, that he used to have to help pack up all the instruments, because we used to bring all our instruments back home. And the organ was very, very heavy. And my husband always said he was the only one that could lift the organ. Everybody else would be all struggle to lift it, because we used to go around the back at the Cuddy-Sark and load off our instruments. And you know, it was like being home. We were treated so well. We'd been there so many years that we were like part of the family. And it was so amazing, you know, the way the Renwicks were like our own family. And my husband was a diabetic. It was quite strange. So he wasn't on insulin, and so halfway through the night, with his hectic playing all the time, he used to burn up his energy. And so they used to make sure that at 10 o'clock they were given instructions in the kitchen that there had to be a plate of sandwiches, and this is what they used to do. And between dances we would sit in the lounge. And next thing, this bunch of youngsters would be there, and wow, 10 o'clock, we've got sandwiches. And they'd dive into this plate of sandwiches, because we used to have breaks between dances. So it's, this is what happened with life. Your children, they are children for a while, then all of a sudden they grow up and they're one of you and get involved in all the things that you were doing. And another funny thing was, in those days, people used to call beads around their neck, and they used to call them gurumi beads. And this one particular evening, we were sitting there, and all these young guys came in, and they all had these things around their neck. And I said, what do you got on your neck? My son said, they are our gurumi beads, Mom. Do you know where they got the gurumi beads from? This was just mischief. Young boys full of mischief and doing what they shouldn't be doing. And they had taken these beads out of a armchair inside the lounge. Underneath the cushions were obviously beads of some sort. So you can imagine what happened when somebody sat in that chair and all the support at the bottom had been moved out. And this was the mischief that used to get on, that they used to get up to as they were growing up. But you know, in those days, it was mischief. It wasn't anything bad or drugging or anything. It was just mischief with things that they thought was funny, like taking beads out of a chair. Whoever would have thought of that? It could only be them. And things like this used to happen the whole time, as I say, as they grew up. And when my daughter had left school, they were still in the band, and they got engaged. And we had that celebration at the Cuddy-Sark Hotel on a Saturday evening while we played for the dance. So all our friends joined us there, and it was so nice to celebrate amongst people. And they had the live music, and they had dancing, and in those days this was what it was all about. And then what we did was, on the Sunday, we decided we'd have it at home, so we had a celebration for them at home. So there was a full day of entertainment at home as well. And this is the way we entertained ourselves and included our children in all the fun. It was so good. So I think that could be the end of our journey for now, because I'll tell you why. We don't know whether we're having load shedding, and I don't want to be cut off in the middle. So for now, I'll say cheerio from Nicola myself until our